welcome to our Reporting in Dynamics AX webinar this afternoon. As I've already told a number of you who are on a bit earlier, we will mute the microphones to hopefully cut out as much background noise as we can to allow you to have a clear sound of what we're saying. If anybody does have any questions, there is an area to type a question in. If it is a quick question that we can answer, we will do so. If not, then we'll take a note of it and come back to you with an answer for that. Let me introduce myself. I'm Philip Stride. I've been with AX for 13 years in various senior positions in the Microsoft channel, mostly around the sales and director positions within partners. And my colleague today helping me is a gentleman called Neil Wright. And Neil has worked for Microsoft and as a consultant in BI for the last 7 years around the Microsoft stack and the Dynamics stack. When just want to make sure everybody can see the slides coming up. There we go. When Microsoft started off its vision for 2012, they put down a number of things that they wanted to achieve. They wanted applications they saw as an asset rather than a liability, simplicity and agility without sacrificing the power, and to get more around specific industry solutions rather than having to do lots of customizations. And the last point there, they wanted to see powerful embedded analytics and BI. So get to powerful information rather than data overload. With 2012, what they now have in terms of the ability to analyze the data is 12 individual cubes. That's 2 more than we had previously. They are the environmental stability and the workflow cube have now been added. However, for those people who understand working with cubes within SQL, there is no out-of-the-box integration between them and no inbuilt customization and add-on integration. So if you as a client have add-ons and customizations, then it isn't easy to get that information into the reporting scenario. So, in summary, what Microsoft has done is now said that the basis of analytics and reporting for AX 2012 is going to be through SQL, and that AX 2012 reports basically are migrating from X++ to SQL Server reporting services. So SQL is the answer. So what's new? Some of the analysis have changed. I've already mentioned the 2 cubes that have come in. There's a new project wizard that's available within analysis services, which will help create more cubes, and especially for those people who have add-ons or have done lots of development work within AX, that will help them. There is a much easier way now that Microsoft is working with the calendar. So previously your calendar time was sorted in local time, which meant that every time you wanted to do some change of location reporting, it was having to do quite a calculation. So if you're in the Philippines, you had information stored in the Philippines, it would then be, and you wanted to look at it in the UK, working out the time difference. What it works on now is a course set time calendar, basically GMT. And there's been major changes in the financial reporting. Many of you, I'm sure, are aware that in 2012 there are a lot of changes around finance. In fact, the average, when it came to changes in previous versions, the average was around 400 changes for each upgrade. Microsoft have announced various different numbers, but somewhere between 3 to 5 times that amount are coming on in 2012, and especially a large amount around the way the finances work. As such, there's a lot of changes that are required to the way that reporting works within finance. So, what if you've already got reports in SQL Server reporting services in your Dynamics AX 2009 installation, or maybe as version 4? Well, when it comes to an upgrade, Microsoft are going to copy those reports across. They won't be upgraded, they'll be copied. In fact, Microsoft is suggesting that you use the reporting template, so the template provided, and customize that to meet your needs. So basically, every SQL Server Reporting Services report that you currently have that comes across will effectively need to be redone from the template. What about those companies who are using X++ reports? Basically, as we've already said, there is no more work on X++. It's being deprecated in 2012, won't be used. You will be able to copy those across, but they, again, won't be upgraded. And Microsoft has given us two options. The one it recommends, the second one, is to say that they will suggest you use SQL Server Reporting Services report that's provided, and then use that as a template to customize it. There are a lot of customers out there who've got a lot of X++ reports, the standard reports. What that means is every single report is going to have to be managed. Do not underestimate the work that's involved in getting that done. So, are we knocking Microsoft's strategy? No. There are lots of clients out there who have the skills in-house to be able to take SQL Server and using analysis services and reporting services to create the level of reports that they require. However, I've worked with a lot of clients in the past who don't have large IT departments, who don't have large amounts of skills in SSRS or analysis services. As such, what can they do? Well, unfortunately, that probably means back to your partner or to get contractors in to help with that work. And if you know how much time it took to get some of those reports done in X++ to start with, it's going to obviously be quite a large amount of work to upgrade those. So what if you want to do something a little bit simpler? What can you do? Well, we've looked at some of the products that are out there in the marketplace. And you'll see here that what we've done is come up with a fairly simple chart. It's based on our own analysis. There's nothing scientific particularly about it other than to say across the top attribute, the horizontal, we have the attributes that we think people want from a BI tool. On the vertical, we have the level of skills that are required. So at the bottom of the chart, there's probably slightly less skills. Up at the top, we're getting more into developer type skills. And that top set of blocks there are more around the Microsoft tool stack. And then you can get to products like ClickView and reporting services, the Report Builder 3. And Management Reporter, which has taken over from FRX. So FRX, for those of you who have unfortunately invested in FRX, that will now be taken over by Management Reporter. There's Precision Point. The blue areas on the chart are suggesting where we think their strengths are. Down at the bottom end, you've got things like Excel, and yes, we could have put Excel probably in every one of those areas. It would have taken a lot of work to get Excel to provide all the operational reporting and business reporting. It can certainly do it. Export into Excel and work on it. Atlas is a very good little tool, especially around managing your data, but perhaps not so strong when it comes to the graphics and the reporting. But I think with Excel, it can achieve some of that. But the product that we have found that meets the best of all requirements is a product called ZAP BI. So, what is ZAP? Who are ZAP? They've spent over 10 years developing their products. They work in 30 countries and 7 languages and have over 15,000 users. It's a product that works 100% on Dynamics. It doesn't mean that we can't take data from other databases or other products, but the product is designed, ZAP BI is designed around the Dynamics suite. Not just AX, there's set there for Great Plains, GP, or Division, the NAV, and even for those companies who have Microsoft CRM as well, it will work with that as well. So it does all of those things you want. 500 pre-built analytics and specific industry solutions for manufacturing, distribution and retail that allow us to achieve very quick responses. So what is it that people actually want from a BI solution? Now, this is probably a question I should have thrown out and said, what do you want? Because individual companies will want different things, from basic reports to what-if analysis at each end of the extreme. But not just reports. How about the ability to create a report pack? Perhaps it's your monthly report pack for the board or a management meeting, the ability to pick information out into a standard format, into a report pack and publish it. Dashboards, ad hoc analytics. ZAP provides all those things you see on the screen. So, how does it work? Well, basically, we looked earlier at the 12 cubes. It's taking all that information from those 12 cubes and putting them into one cube. ZAP used the term a hypercube, and it's pulling that data together, and that's one of the big things about it. It is allowing information from one cube to another. So, for example, if you wanted to report on the number of customers who'd had products that were delivered by a certain supplier of yours, that would be in 2 cubes in the standard Dynamics AX suite. Here in this hypercube, this is a lot easier to see, and Neil in a minute will show you how we can do that, how we can get information out from different cubes, much easier than it could be done with SQL. There is an additional product, which is Cube Express. It allows it to automatically analyze data structures in AX, looks for add-ons, changes, modifications, and presents a single integrated normalized cube to work from. So that's part of the ZAP BI toolset, is a thing called this Cube Express. It's taking something and automatically presenting you with the ability to report on specific industry add-ons that you may have purchased, or its developments you've done specifically for your business. Again, this makes this product stand out from the rest. There was no other product in the marketplace that we found could achieve this. When it comes to those reports, you can view those through the web, through the ZAP BI tool, the ZAP portal. You'll see that from Neil. He's going to be working in that today. See how easy that is to work in. If, however, you want to utilize the benefits that came out in version 2009 of the Role Center, then you can have this put on your individual Role Center. So the Role Center picks up web parts, and that bit of information contains a web part. So you don't have to have anything different. Nobody has to go in and see another product, go to another page to get their information if they're using role centers at the moment. So why is that better? Well, here I've put on the slide on the screen a series of transaction processes that we'll go through in terms of getting a traditional BI project up and running. One of my clients last year went through this 6 months of work with 3 people full-time trying to get information from a number of different databases together and report on them through SQL. They failed in 6 months. In 6 months they went over to ZAP. Within 1 month of one person they had achieved their reporting requirements that they had failed to achieve in the previous 18 months of work. Here on the chart I've put a simple process that we would go through for a simple Dynamics piece of work using standard reports, standard APIs, using out-of-the-box tools. Within a week we could have that up and running for you. Obviously, if you want to start integrating other databases into the data warehouse, we've got to add a few more days on for that. Follow that with 5 days of user training, and within a couple of weeks you can be up and running using the ZAP product that Neil is going to be showing you. And without further ado, I'm going to hand over now to Neil and ask Neil to take you through a very simple demonstration of the ZAP product. He'll also show you the reporting tool that allows things to put them into the report generator so that you can have multiple reports coming out as a pack. Neil's going to start off as a chief executive of his company, and perhaps in the next sort of 10 to 15 minutes just give you a very, very brief insight to what ZAP can do. Neil, over to your good self, sir.